Joining us today is Kabir Roy, a seasoned digital transformation leader with over 20 years of experience driving customer experience innovation across global enterprises. From revolutionizing a major auto manufacturer's customer journey in Asian markets to developing patented design solutions, Kabir brings a wealth of experience and expertise in translating user-centered strategies into tangible business growth. Thanks so much for joining us today, Kabir.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul, for the opportunity and really appreciate the introduction. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. So we'll jump right into the questions.
Sure.
What moment in your career has taught you the most?
So overall, my career has been, I wouldn't say the traditional way of the career growth. I am a techie, got into a lot of different things. And today I'm a strategist. But what taught me a lot, I would say, is meeting the right people at the right time, like yourself. I have been lucky enough to meet a lot of interesting and beautifully inclined people who want to help others grow. So there has been many instances. I can take you through one of my journeys.
Absolutely. Please do.
Sure. So this is way back when I started my career. I'm being from the tech engineering side. I did my master's in software engineering, and I started working pretty early on. These were the days when you used to build web designing, and the web was just in. And I was passionate about this. So there was an instance when I used to work late night, getting to do something on my own. And I used to notice that there was every night that I used to work in the office, sometimes I slept at my desk, and there used to be some or the other thing left, like a food material, like a cake or something on my desk. And I never knew who this person was. Somebody noticed that this guy's working and maybe he's hungry. So one fine day, I happened to cross over that person, and she became my mentor over the next 20 years. She said, "Hey, you need to eat if you need to work well." And that actually shaped a lot of my characteristic over there.
That is such a great story.
Thank
You
you.
kind of answered question 4 already, but that was just so well done. And I love the background there. So great
Thank
story.
you.
Thinking of that, when your colleagues or team members describe you, what 3 words would they consistently use?
So, Paul, at this stage in my career, I think colleagues and my friends who have been in touch throughout my career would like to definitely mention that I have a lot of grit. I went through a lot of transition. I had a life-threatening accident a few years back, where I broke my cervicals. My left was not working, but I ensured that I get up in 6 months. I started working on myself, healing. I also happen to have a lot of empathy towards people. That also comes because of my work background. I work in the experience field, which is basically understanding people. So people feel that I'm not empathetic towards their way of working, their lifestyle. I like to know people more. The third thing which I definitely think has shaped and crossed over to people when they think about me is I have a lot of passion about what I do. So when I feel there are instances in life where passion is something which drives you through your difficult times, and that's when I use it as my fuel. And these are the 3 things I think.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. Outside of your professional achievements, what passion project or personal interest has taught you skills that make you better at what you do?
Sure. So outside of my professional work, there has been a time when, and being from the engineering side, I wanted to build something. I wanted to build something for the world, and I spent some time creating a product which was primarily towards ideation. So what if you had a product where you can put your ideas and people can come and pitch in what they think about it, and then I combined that with tokens and build a platform around it. The project didn't fly. I wouldn't say that I was successful in it. I learned a lot out of that, but I was excited building the whole thing and experiencing the whole life cycle of an entrepreneur, what they go through. So that's one. I like to play a lot of guitar. This started when my hands stopped working. My doctor said, you need to get your dexterity back. So I started playing guitar. I write a lot. I do. And I have 2 beautiful daughters. So we spend a lot of time learning things together.
That is wonderful.
Thank you.
That is wonderful. What a great story. Can you tell me about a mentor that has meant something to you personally?
So yes, I think mentors are people who shape a lot of our character over time. People who you remember throughout your career and your journey, professional journey. One of the mentors that I always remember and I am very closely in touch with is Miss Sethi, who basically taught me a lot around not just understanding my field. When I joined the user experience bandwagon, it was pretty new to the entire industry. So she was the one who basically took me through it. In fact, taught me a lot of life lessons as well. I got into leadership position very early on. So you need a lot of learning and a mentorship to go through the boardroom meetings and the other scenarios. So I think she taught me more about people.
It sounds like she was very, very impactful for you. So
Yes,
that's
she still
excellent.
is. She still is. I keep on talking to her.
What book or podcast has influenced you?
So there are a lot of books we come across, but one thing that shaped my thought process is The Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. So
Okay.
it's about how success is not just about skills. It's also about how you grow, how you meet people, how the circumstances influence a lot of factors, how getting into the right opportunity at the right time. So the outliers, why I wanted to mention the outliers is because I feel that out of a lot of people, there are these set of people who always are outliers and they shape a lot of things. I feel that this thing has shaped my career majorly because there was a time when I used to feel that I wanted to disrupt the way things work. And I still want to have that kind of an impact on the industry.
It's funny that the word disrupt can have such a negative connotation, but
Yes.
you're so right. It can be used so positively as
Yes.
well. So very, very interesting.
Thank you.
If you could spend a day learning from anyone, living or historical, who would that be and why?
I think there are a lot of leaders out there who influence us over time. But one name that quickly comes to my mind is Steve Jobs, definitely. I think it may sound cliche, but I think the journey of Steve Jobs' life, right, through the ups and downs and the learnings that he has shared with the world, not just the tech, right, the personal life that he has. It's amazing for us to learn from. And that's one person I definitely would have loved to meet.
Mm-hmm. I share that. I share that completely. What do you see as the future of your industry?
So that's a great question, Paul. And I think a lot of my colleagues who we talk about, and there's a lot of thought process around how AI is changing the entire dynamics. But I honestly feel that the industry where I am in, I would want to call it as the experience strategy industry. And I think strategy is something which is going to be the shaping future of the experience field that I work in, because a lot of the heavy lifting is being done by AI now. It's being automated. So what matters now is how human can connect to human and how we can shape the exact thought process of the entire journey. So I think that's the future, and it's very important for leaders like us who are 20 years into the field to help shape this in the right way, because in the rush to get technically out there, we might lose on to the critical phase where we can shape this industry in the right direction.
I think that's really well said. You've hit on something that when I talk to IT leaders frequently, they continually talk about how leveraging AI for what it does well is perfect, but we need to find better ways to leverage what humans do much better as well. And that's exactly what you're saying. So you're right in line with all the other executives I speak with. So fantastically
Thank
done.
you.
Before we wrap, is there anything that you'd like to share that we didn't cover?
I think one thing that I definitely would like to talk about, and I would love to know your thought in that as well, is how I have seen this sudden change around how the entire industry, I meet a lot of interesting people who are very talented and who are in the same boat as myself, right? Who are right now exploring opportunities and what would be the right next step. I meet a lot of CEOs who are not able to decide on what type of roles and how the roles that they are hiring for is going to change, and what are the responsibilities in the next phase of human recruitment, right? And that's where I think I meet a lot of people who are in that negative zone where they feel that maybe we are obsolete because of technology and things like that. So I would love to see how humans outlive and to mention it in quotes, right? Talented human beings outlive this phase and make it through to the top. That's something which I really want everybody out there to know, that we really need to be there.
Mm-hmm. If I had the answer, I don't think I'd be still working for a living, but I do think it's an important question that people need to be thinking about is how do we find, AI is here to stay and it is going to continually improve. It is going to continually get better and more robust and more capable. How do we continue to train humans on how to enhance our strengths that AI will never be able to replace and focus on that to make sure that humans have their own ability to contribute? Because that's one thing I've heard several people talk about is with AI, we can all relax and just let AI do all the work and we'll just do shared income and things. I don't believe that's possible.
Yeah.
I think humans by nature want to work. They want to contribute. They want to do their part. And we need to find ways to make sure that we stay relevant as well. So I think you've hit the nail on the head.
Thank you. And I think
it's a tough question. Go ahead.
Sorry,
I apologize.
I just wanted to add on. I think we are very good at adapting to the whole change, right? And I meet a lot of my peers and including myself, right? I have shifted from UX to CX, now digital transformation, and then we are trying to adapt to the strategy layer, entire strategy layer. I think that's the way to go ahead, because the more adaptable you are, the more agile you are to your career itself. I think the better it is for us to fit that gap which is being created right now.
I think that's well said. So thank you so much for joining us today. I think any would be lucky to have you in a strategic role for them. And we'll put all of your contact information and things in the show notes so they can reach out to you. And thanks again for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Paul. And I really appreciate this opportunity. You have a lovely day.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
MTMG, guidance that empowers.